Tacit knowledge is the kind of knowledge that people have but find hard to explain in words. It includes skills, ideas, and experiences that we pick up through practice or observation instead of reading or being taught directly. This kind of knowledge is often gained over time and becomes so natural that we may not even realize we have it. It can guide how we make decisions, solve problems, or act in certain situations, even though we might struggle to describe exactly how we know what to do. Now let's look at some examples. A good example of tacit knowledge is riding a bike. Once you learn, you just know how to balance and move without thinking about each step, but it's hard to explain to someone else exactly how to do it. Another example is knowing how to comfort a friend when they are upset. There isn't a rule book, but your experience helps you choose the right words and tone. A third example is how a chef knows just when a dish is perfectly cooked without using a timer. These examples show how tacit knowledge is often based on personal experience and instinct. Tacit knowledge is different from explicit knowledge, which is the kind of knowledge that can be written down, spoken, or taught clearly. For example, a math formula or a set of instructions for assembling furniture are types of explicit knowledge. You can pass them on by reading or listening. Tacit knowledge, on the other hand, is usually shared through observation, imitation, or doing things together. This makes tacit knowledge harder to transfer between people because it depends more on practice than explanation. Now let's look at some strengths of tacit knowledge. One strength is that it often leads to quick, confident decision-making, especially in complex situations. People with strong tacit knowledge don't need to stop and analyse every small detail. They can act based on experience. Another strength is that it helps people be flexible. Instead of following a strict rule, someone with tacit knowledge can adapt to different situations and still get good results. This makes tacit knowledge especially useful in fields that involve creativity, leadership, or problem solving. However, tacit knowledge is not without its weaknesses. One weakness is that it's hard to teach. Because it's difficult to explain clearly, it can take a long time for others to learn it just by watching or practicing. Another weakness is that it can't always be checked for accuracy. Since it's often based on personal habits or feelings, there's a chance someone's tacit knowledge might be outdated or not work well in new situations. These challenges make it harder to share and test compared to knowledge that can be written down and studied.